Is this really the leaked 6-star featured coming in 2 weeks' time? We investigate Elder's Mark situation. Did players get compensated accordingly, or did Kabam get all messed up with their calculations? We find out. Will Kabam ever deal with the outdated areas of the game? And so much more. Hello everybody, it is a Friday. Yes, we're at the end of the week and all the working, schooling week is done. Do you know, I was just thinking to myself the other day, wouldn't it be great if I get possessed in a kind of a godly fashion, like Evan Baxter in like, Bruce Almighty? Like just one time I just want to be like, news! News! Susan? Just like that, just once. Can I just get possessed by a god once, just to do weird things? One day it'll happen and you'll all think I'm a bit more weirder than I normally am. In any case, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe with post notifications on all. Yeah, subscribing's free. Do it! And before we go anywhere, just to let you know, this particular show is sponsored by Dave the Diver. Dave the Diver is a PC/Steam hybrid marine adventure game by Mint Rocket. Set in a mysterious blue hole where the ecology and terrain continue to change, combining adventure and tycoon gameplay, Dave the Diver provides a variety of fun experiences. Dive in, deep sea exploration, in a beautiful sea setting and combining a mix of 2D and 3D and restaurant management in which you finance the shop by capturing fish and cooking them. Check out the link in the description to add the game to your wishlist, and for your chance to check out the game Dave the Diver, it will be in early access on Steam starting on the 27th of October. You can also follow the game on Discord, YouTube and Twitter, links for which are in the description as well. So as Dave the Diver, you will enjoy and share the breathtaking underwater scenery combining adventure, RPG and tycoon gaming. The game provides an immersive adventure with quirky but lovable characters full of in-jokes, spoofs and other humorous scenes. There is something bigger in store for Dave, who will need to unwrap a deep sea blue hole mystery to help Dr. Bacon, who is an archaeologist who studies the sea people's civilization. The game plunges players into an oceanic adventure set in a real marine environment of a blue hole. Full of over 200 kinds of sea creatures, combat is incredibly fun and you might find yourself against a massive sea monster. You can catch fish and various creatures living in the blue hole with a harpoon. This makes it important to upgrade and forge equipment to prepare yourself for the dangers that lurk in the unknown. Dave the Diver gameplay is largely divided into two types: blue hole exploration and sushi restaurant operation. During the daytime, players can explore the blue hole twice, and each night after sunset, players can raise money by using ingredients from fish captured during the day to operate the sushi restaurant. Players can use the funds raised at the sushi restaurant to upgrade equipment, then explore even deeper areas. Fish and ingredients caught in deeper areas can be sold at the sushi restaurant at an even higher price. Links to Dave the Diver can be found below, and go and check out the game when it enters early access on the 27th of October. Thanks to Mint Rocket and the team behind Dave the Diver for sponsoring this video. Go and check it out, link in the description. And we've got to get into the show, right? So the show is, first of all, with this story kicking off with outdated things in game. There's tons. If you look at the arenas, the Catalyst arenas, and how they're not up with the current meta, also with lots of things. Sunday Shard arenas, which were updated a long time ago, which actually seems like a short time ago, do need a little bit of bump up in their kind of rewards, especially to get people interested with playing on a Sunday. But there's loads of things in game. I mean, you look at Alliance Quest at the moment, season rewards need to be bumped up, and especially with the Glory Store might needing a little bit of a bump up come the next month or two. Does mean a lot of players are focusing more on Alliance Wars. There's also other things. Summon Advancement rewards, which we seem to, as our alliance, seem to be getting a little bit of 6-star shards, but it's not a huge amount, especially, again, under the current meta of things. Daily Alliance events, those 3-day events, well, I don't know with that one. I don't know if they're meant to be kind of as they are. But there are a few things when it comes to solo events that don't really kind of match up. War Victory Crystals. So yeah, there's a lot of things that just don't match up. There's tons. This was a very interesting thread, started off by some players, and it continues on, especially into like yesterday. So there's a ton of things, and as I said, very interesting. Have your say on some of the stuff that needs updating. Maybe a Kabam dev's going to see this and go, do you know what? This is actually a very good point, and we should be looking to update some of the rewards. AQ has definitely got to be sorted out. You know, you've got meta rewards in things like Alliance War seasons. You need it to be in AQ and in a rotating 5-day for when we get that. Just quickly onto sound effects within Battlegrounds. So some people have noted that, even here, I haven't ticked off or whatever, but how do you turn off Battlegrounds sound effects? And the game has sounds, I mean, I turn it off just because, yeah, time and stuff. So yeah, to get to the point of this particular bug, Kabam Jack says, hey there, not dumb, there's a known issue where some players, some portions of Battlegrounds audio plays despite settings having them switched off. It's something the team is working on, so that kind of gives you an idea. The Kabam are working on that fix for that. If you've noticed it, some people may have, some people, I mean, I don't personally. Can I retain my sound on but remove the dong, you lose weakling sound effect? I don't know, like I thought I heard something the other day, but I was like, what the hell? So yeah. Now we move on to Elder Marks. Okay, so there's a lot of things with this Elder Marks situation. There was, like, first of all, we were getting some kind of compensation for this. Due to the new Elder Mark exchange rate, we are granting you a bonus Elder Marks to reflect your correct rate. I think I got quite a bit, but I wasn't able to participate in Battlegrounds Season 1. I'm only just about to now. I've participated in Season 2. But I definitely noticed there was quite a substantial chunk of Elder Marks at the time. Some people were saying they got a lot. Someone said I had 550 and got none in the kind of compensation. Bet y'all who got 8 are feeling pretty good right now. I had 630, got 33. I should have gotten 1,000. There's a lot of things with this. Like, I'm not going to go too much in depth into like the calculation side of things, because there's a discrepancy between what, say, players are bringing up to what the conversion is and what Kabam are. So I always find this when it's if a irremovable object, an unstoppable force hits an unmovable object, right, you're gonna have a clash. So back on the 18th, Kabam Jack said, well, you know, look into it, and then following up on that one, saying, while I'm doing some digging for clarification on this, you're not being reimbursed for used marks from last season. The Elder Marks being distributed are an adjustment to the total in your inventory at the conclusion of last season. The information snapshot was taken last Friday so that no one could purchase new marks when season 2 started and try to double dip. If anyone has screenshots of their total from last week and in-game mail from the adjustment they believe is wrong, please post them here. This would be the biggest help. Otherwise, we'll continue to look on our own methods. And it just goes back to this thing that I've said about in the past, where as players we are so paranoid about the level of trust in Kabam to get stuff sorted. We are constantly doing stuff like this, like taking screenshots of days throughout the week. Literally, like, you would have to take about 20 screenshots of your roster, of your resources, like constantly each and every day to try and get a sort of level of receipts to kind of confirm to Kabam, look, by the way, you messed up. I know you get Kabam were like, well, we don't mess up, we don't do stuff. Well, like, there's stuff when it's like quite obvious that that's the case, especially for what you're looking to see back from these Elder Mark situation. And it has come to a head that Kabam have kind of gone, look, by the way, we have messed up. With 2 days ago, Kabam Jack's confirming, hey everyone, following up on the solution here. Firstly, what happened with the calculation for the Elder Marks, not the M's, because that's my wife, was made based on the total in everyone's inventory, the conclusion of season 1, not the totals immediately prior to season 2 start. What's being done, a second set of adjustments will go out, will equal the difference between those two calculations. If the number of your inventory increased in that time period, latest up until season 2 starting at 11 AM October 17th, if that balance is greater than the balance you had on October 10th, and it won't be the entire balance but the difference between the later balance and the early one, so blah 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 blah, you may think you're getting more but you're probably not, then the timeline of this particular adjustment, compensation let's call it, looks like this should be relatively quick turnaround, and I'm confident that it will be this week. So you may receive it, you may have already received it, or maybe you're receiving it tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday, one of those various days for that. And yeah, I mean, I think that's probably it. Doesn't look like there's any kind of like other say except for people coming up with you know, again, we have to look at this kind of like mathematical situation, and I don't want to go down this rabbit hole because then we're kind of like, we're unpacking and we're trying to do the calculations ourselves here on the channel. I just think that at this point it's like, Kabam, just please be careful when you're doing stuff like this, because players notice, and it is sad when players have to kind of like go, look, you did mess up in the calculation. I have not got as much of the elder marks back as I should have done. We have to put this trust in you as a developer in order to get this right. Please do better with these calculations and understand, or even just kind of put out like an across the board thing, especially when you're looking at situations of people spending money in this stuff, and as well, you know, the time and labor that goes into trying to get somewhere with these elder marks in Battlegrounds. So yeah, there's the update on that situation. We'll see how this goes out and whether or not players are getting their compensation by this week, if it's today, tomorrow, or Sunday, which I don't think they've done on Sunday. Next up, and we move on to leaked with bunny ears. I've got many people that came up to me and said, or sent me something, said, this is potentially a leaked 6-star featured. I gotta be honest, this looks more like it's a prediction in any case, but as well, like it's kind of like, it's kind of weird. Like someone said here, seen some leaked stuff. The champion pool is awful, right? Take anything that's said with leaked as with a pinch of salt. I normally don't cover leaked stuff on the channel unless I absolutely have to. The reason I'm saying that this is not leaked is it looks like this is some sort of I don't know, fan-made thing, or kind of like prediction. And also I would say that there's a glaring thing that people I have actually seen and pointed out. So yeah, what is that glaring thing? Well, the fact that there's a Drax right there, and if you go into game right now, you'll notice that it says Drax right next to Howard the Duck and Mephisto to the left. So would they really want to run 2 months in a row a Drax? Have they done it in the past? Technically yes, but not really. Technically I think they've done it with Cyclopses, but you know, I think it was like the Xavier School 1 month and then the blue one the next month. So it's like, yeah, kind of yes, kind of no with it. It could be a case that, you know, this could be leaked. But let's face it, as I said, there's a glaring thing with Drax that kind of throws off the equation. Also, there's a response from Kabam on this particular matter of this one, which we'll go over in a memento. So yeah, I think it was just Lagacy going over what he'd seen, or it was his own prediction for it. But you know, as we said, like there's Drax being in you know, 2 months is kind of weird, A lot of us are saving up for those 6-star featured. I'm running a good bit of luck at the moment, and I am hoping that I've budgeted, well, I want a bit more, but 10 6-star features, hopefully to get Gallon, Quicksilver, and Valkyrie. I'll have to see. But Command Mike did respond back to all of this hoop-la-di-da with the leaking, saying, "Don't believe everything you read on the internet." Abraham Lincoln. So that was a joke by him. So maybe it's not true. We'll have to see. We've got 2 weeks, well, a week and a bit. So we'll see whether or not there's going to be any truth to those. Some people are saying leaks, but as I said, I think this is more like a fan-made type thing. But also the biggest problem I have is like, well, it's difficult to trust Kabam nowadays. So you can't trust anybody. And there we go, that has been the show. Thank you very much for watching. Also, thank you very much to those that support the channel as a YouTube member and as a patron who are on screen at this very moment in time. Thank you very much for giving that love and support. Also, those that support on twitch.tv/RichTheMan live. I've prepared my paths to doing Act 8.1.4 tonight, so fingers crossed everything will go well for the stream being launched at about 8 PM UK time, and we'll do a couple of hours and see if we can smash out as much of that as possible. Appreciate you all, and I look forward to seeing you later. Make sure to check out some other content located on screen right now. Don't know if there's going to be a second video for today, but if there is, it will be a surprise. So, surprise if I do another video. If not, this could be the only one for today. Sad times. Bye-bye.